Good morning. I'm Coach Mara, and this is English Guide for Coaches. This is the third week of the second quarter for lower grades, and our topic is verbs. So I'll run you guys through the explore and the challenge. Flip to slide number 4, so that's the explore, and say something along the lines of, before we start our lesson today, we're going to play a game called charades. Raise your hand if you've played charades before. Okay, good. So let me explain the rules one more time and then flip this slide number 5. I'm going to choose an actor from the class. The actor will have 30 seconds to act out the word that I give them. Now, in this 30 seconds, while the actor is acting it out, anybody in the class can raise their hand if they have a guess. So if you think you know what the word is, raise your hand. If you guess the word correctly, then I'm going to ask the class first, raise your hand if you think that this word is a verb. Then you raise your hand if you think it's a verb. Now raise your hand if you think that it's not a verb. And those that think that it's not a verb, raise your hand. Okay? If most of the class sorts the word correctly into whether it's a verb or not a verb, then the class gets 1 point. Now your challenge is to reach 5 points in 3 minutes. That means that you have to be thinking really carefully about your answer and just keep trying to guess. Don't worry about whether the answer is correct or not. If you think you know what it is, try to guess and be brave. And also, you have to work together. So this is a game where you're only going to do well if you work as a class, if you work together. Thumbs up if you're ready to start. So you go through, you flash to slide number 6, and then you give them these words one at a time. Snake, ride a bike, spaceship, gorilla, swim, fishing, and ride a roller coaster. Give these words one at a time. It's in the ELEX guide, the word file, the PDF. Stick to the 30-second time limit. After the game, give them feedback. Say something like, I see that you guys were able to reach your target, and that's because you were thinking really carefully about what the word was. You were practicing courage and trying to guess, even if you weren't sure, and you were working together. If they didn't reach their target, say something along the lines of, you still have the rest of the session to practice curiosity, to practice bravery, and to practice collaboration. So I know that's something that we can work on together. But before we move on to the rest of the session, flip to this slide number 7, copy the text in red and complete the sentence. You have 1 minute to do this. When they're finished with that, call on 2 to 3 learners to share their answers. That's the explore.